By now, you've heard the news. Israel launching a massive operation that rescued 4 Israeli hostages held by Hamas for nearly 8 months. Both the Biden administration and the Israeli government held this operation as a success, but others have been critical of the fact that 270 Palestinians were killed. I'm investigative journalist Ben Swann. There is an angle to this story that virtually no one in mainstream media is talking about. The fact that there appears to be clear evidence that not only was the U.S. involved in supplying munitions for the operation, but there may have been U.S. boots on the ground. The rescue operation was conducted in the middle of the day as Israeli forces, disguised as humanitarian aid workers, drove a humanitarian aid truck into the crowded market area of Nusrat. Once there, these forces began what they've termed a rescue operation, but others have termed a brutal assault. Assassinations, multiple aerial strikes on full residential buildings, and the entire outdoor Nusrat market left with bodiless limbs and headless bodies scattered everywhere, all under the cover of humanitarian aid. The mission appeared to be successful, as again, 4 Israeli hostages were in fact rescued after months of being held as hostages in the Gaza Strip among militants. Some reports say the operation also led to the death, though, of 3 Israeli hostages, 1 with American citizenship. Details regarding the exact role of the United States military remain murky, but a few details have emerged and they deserve our attention. First of all, during this so-called rescue operation, the head of the IDF was accompanied by none other than the United States CENTCOM chief, General Michael Kurilla. Here they are together during a more public meeting over the weekend in Israel. Now remember, that humanitarian aid pier that the U.S. military built off the Gaza coast, well, people originally thought this military installation had more sinister aims, but they were called conspiracy theorists. Well, during the operation, an IDF soldier at the U.S. Gaza aid pier posted this video to social media. You can see an Israeli military helicopter taking off, and behind it, parked on the dock, you can see a few Israeli army vehicles and also humanitarian aid trucks. The aid truck that allowed the soldiers to disguise themselves as humanitarian aid workers reportedly left from this very area. The video actually caused a stir, especially after the rescue operation, because the U.S. government has come out to now deny accusations that that humanitarian pier was used in the Nusrat assault. U.S. Central Command tweeted that, quote, an area south of the U.S. facility was used, but by the Israelis. But again, look at the video. How far south are we talking? A few meters? This survivor, speaking from a makeshift hospital, explained that 10 soldiers exited the fake humanitarian aid truck and shot him with 3 bullets in his chest, arm, and leg. Then he says Israel began to intensely bomb the area with fire belts, meaning dropping large amounts of bombs indiscriminately.
مارك في الشارع اجى شحن صف كله أواعي وكله قناجر يعني تقول واحد جاي من رفح يعزل عنها ما بنسوا الا هم نازلين بيجي 10 قوه خاصه نزلت الطخطخ خدت 3 اطلاق في صدري وفي ايدي ونزلوا اشتباكات طخ طخ بعدين ما ادريش عن حالي قصر وانفجارات في الاخر انسحبوا خدوني الشباب وطلعوا فيه على العوده على المستوصف تبع السوق من العياده من غادي اخذونا على الاقصى من الاقصى طلعت برا ما لقيتش ولا مخلوق في السوق كله مرمى مبطع على الارض مستشهد وراسه مقطوعه.
Here's an interview with 14-year-old Ahmed Mohammed Yaqub Matar, a Palestinian boy who lives in Nusrat. The interview is making rounds on Arabic social media, U.S. mainstream media doing their best to ignore it. You can probably see why. Ahmed explains what happened when soldiers raided his home during the operation and where the soldiers were from.
بس بدأنا يوم طبيعي اللي هو بعد اليوم الطبيعي يمكن على 10 اجت الهليكوبتر يمكن 6 7 وصار انه يخبط انه وين في انصراط حوالين العودة. بعدها لقيناهم صوتهم على الدرج طالعين خشوا في الدار اللي تحت كسروها طلعوا لنا على الدار اللي فوق اللي هو ايه الساحة. اول حاجة لما اول ما دخل طخ اخوي مؤمن وبعديها طخ اخويا الصغير واخوي الصغير استشهد الله يرحمه طخه في بطنه وفي رجله يامن 12 سنة. وبعدين راح سحب سيدي وسحب ابوي وغموهم وبعدين اجا كان بدهم ياخذوني يسحبوني اللي هو امي حكت لهم صغير هو مش راضي يتاكد انه صغير راح شلحني انه تاكد صغير. بعدين راح سحبني على الصالون وفي الصالون خبطني بوكسين هان. بعدين راح قعدنا على الارض وغمى عيني. لما غمى عيني حكى لي ايديك لورا رجعت ايدي صرت الاف السما يربطوهنش راح حط البسطارة هنا ودعس علي عشان ايش اسكت. بعدين ايش راح سكتت. واللي بعدين اللي هاجم علينا في الدار مش قوات إسرائيلية، هذا القوات الأمريكية. وبايدن هذا اللي بيقول لك حالات إنسانية نودع غزة وعمل المينا، قاعد بدخل في المينا دبابات من المينا. واللي قتلنا واللي قتل أخوي واللي طخ أخوي هذا من عنده، من جيش بايدن.
So despite the U.S. military's so-called aid dock in Gaza being part of the operation, the head of the Israeli military being with top U.S. military officials during the operation, and Palestinians' testimonials of Americans being amongst the soldiers, the U.S. continues to deny any direct American involvement, just as Israel denies any foreknowledge of the October 7th attacks. But in our next episode, we're going to look at what appears to have been a military stand down on October 7th. So why did that happen? You can follow our series on X at @truth_in_media or sign up to see every episode as it comes out at truthinmedia.com.